One, two, three. All right. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever Can I Talk My Ish Sports Show. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy DRAZE. I am in the building. I got my co-host coming in a minute. We live, man. My guy Randy Green is coming in. I'm on the computer. I got that working right here at the same time. Let me say something to you guys so that you have a understanding of how this show started, what it is, and where it's going. Okay, this show started because me and Green was texting each other, and we kept texting, and we kept texting, and it became voice memos, and finally it was like, "Yo, I'm tired of watching sports. I want to get on here and talk myself." So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome into the building my guy Green. You there, fam? I'm looking around. Hold on, man. We letting them come in. I don't see the thing on my wall either. Let me.
Yes, on there, boss. You got a few people in the building watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got a couple folks in that thing.
Okie dokie.
It's at the
All
top of
right,
your.
people. There it is. I see it. I apologize for the late get back. Took me a quick second.
Yes, sir.
We got Green. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's happening, man?
Oh, come on, man. Hold on. I'm coming. I just got to get my share on real quick. See what I'm doing. Listen, people. This is as hood as it gets, man. we're doing what we got to do, man, to get this thing popping.
Yes, sir.
Give me.
You guys already got a comment. Can I pull that thing up for y'all?
Yeah. Let's get it, Snow. What's happening? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right, people. I'm almost there. I think I just got it. Roger that. We are ready to rock and roll, man. All right. So here we are, man. Can I talk my ish? What's up,
Can we
Green?
talk it? What's happening, man? We made it, man. Long time
Listen,
coming.
come on, man. I told him this show started because you and I have been trash talking.
Yes.
And love. It's all been love, too.
All
a lot of love.
A lot of love.
So I am a former athlete by way of middle school. However, I am a professional ish talker, and that's why I'm here.
That's
and then
big
I got
facts.
Come on. And then my guy, my brother, Green Diggity.
Come on.
By way of Raider Beach High School, Wazoo.
The one and only, baby.
The association.
Come on, man. Fresh One, stand up. For real. Nah, man. But yeah, no, I like to think that I am the perfect balance to your craziness, right? The world needs to hear what you have to say, but the world also needs somebody to balance you out. And voila, here I am.
Well, I'm going to give you a minute, man. Hey, people, what we like to start off every show with is going to be a segment just called Talk Yo Ish, and that's where you get a chance to sound off. People, stick with us through the show. We're going to talk about the playoffs.
Yes.
We just saw that New Orleans just won, so we're going to talk. We're going to talk about Wembanyama. We're going to talk MVPs. We're going to talk about LeBron, Steph, and KD's legacies. And we're going to make our calls before we go. We will make calls on what will happen in the playoffs. And you guys will see why I am the genius that I am. Because on day one, I'm coming out swinging.
Self-proclaimed.
Yes, sir. I'm going to give you the floor, man. Let you talk your ish, man.
Oh, I can talk your ish right now? You going to let me go first?
Right now. It's all you.
Okay. So it's been really brewing inside me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of talk about, you know, the old regime is moving out. The old regime, as we know, King James, Kevin Durant, you might know him, Chef Curry. These guys are getting a little older, man. Chef Curry didn't make the playoffs. So we're looking, and we're trying to figure out, like, who's next? Dre, who's next? I keep hearing about Shea, Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying? Wembanyama, we're going to talk about him shortly. But we also talk about this guy out in Minnesota, right? Ant Edwards. I mean, what's not to like about Ant Edwards, right? What's not to like? But this is what I want to know. This is what I want to see. a lot has been made about the highlights. Big up to him because I want to give him credit about getting Minnesota to the #2 seed overall.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? The 3rd seed? Excuse me.
Yep.
3rd seed overall. Cat goes down. He steals, rallies the troops, get them to where they need to go to, and you see him taking major steps. But I couldn't be more happy with his matchup. You want to know why? The reason why, Dre's, is because, you know, he's a great interview. He loves to talk. But so does the guy on the other side of that ball by the name of Devin Booker. Right? Devin Booker loves the yap. Devin Booker also does not want to give the reins up to him and letting this young buck just be the face of the NBA. Devin Booker hasn't had a time yet. He hasn't hoisted it. He's like, yo, hold your horses, young fella. I need mine. Also, did you know that Devin Booker is 11-1 versus Ant Edwards? Right? 11-1. That's not great. It's great if you're Devin Booker. It's great if you're the Phoenix Suns, but it's not good if you're Minnesota or if you Ant Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, this guy is averaging a measly 14, 15 points per outing against the Suns. Me and you talked about this privately. 14, 15 points per night in the playoffs is not going to get it done from your stud.
No.
That's not going to cut it. We've got to get 30s, 35s, 40s. We saw what Zion did before the hamstring and the tire blew, right? That's the type of performance I need to see. I understand Cat is also an all-star, but Cat is a Robin. The alpha, the Batman, the potential face of the NBA is Ant Edwards. So I just want to see, is he going to show up or is he going to get shut down? What's it going to be?
Talk your ish, Green.
I just want to talk my ish, baby. Come on, man.
All right. This is my turn. I got to sound off, people. We're going to get to the topics. We just got to take a minute to sound off on something that's been grinding our gears. Now, if you guys know me, when it comes to football, I have 2 teams, okay? There is one Washington, really the Redskins, but the Commanders, right?
Right.
One Washington team, and my other team is the Seattle Seahawks. It was really hard for me to pick a team for this segment because Washington brought in all the quarterbacks and pissed off Jaden Daniels. And I want to sound off on that, but I will not. Today, on our opening episode, I have reserved this conversation for a guy I love. I want to be clear. Green can tell you this, guys. It was after we fired Pete Carroll early on. I grieved.
Yes,
I licked my wounds.
Yes.
I got up and I said, all right, let's get into the search. And we started looking for a guy. And then I started doing my homework, man. This Mike Macdonald guy.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, because I remember at one point you were like, you guys should look at Vrabel. I was like, no, I don't want Vrabel. And you said, okay. He said, okay. So I said, I want the Mike Macdonald. Yeah. And then we went and we got I got John Schneider on the line. I said, give me Mike. And he got me Mike.
Right.
And then he said, look, we got to make moves. I want to say this because I need to preface this for people. I love Mike Macdonald. I'm a huge fan. But love for me involves truth and accountability. And I think if Mike were here, he would say the same thing. Mike Macdonald just have made his first misstep. I know no one wants to be honest. It's okay. He's not going to do everything right. But this thing, if you haven't heard, where they've taken the pictures of the old Seahawks down. So the Lombardi Trophy with Paul Allen and Pete Carroll is now down. The Beastquake run, the earthquake is gone. I mean, Richard Sherman reaching back on Crabtree. And that's what you get when you try to charge me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree. That's gone, right? Sorry, I got to talk my ish. So all of that is gone. And so I tried to understand it. I don't have a problem with, let me be clear. I don't have a problem that he got rid of all of Pete's slogans. That makes sense. Get rid of those. You're a new coach. You need to build them up mentally. I don't
Yeah.
have a problem that they got rid of the basketball hoops, none of that. But when you start going after history and legacy, that's where I have a problem. Because at the end of the day, you're telling me, so says John Snyder in his recent interview, they wanted to forge their own identity.
Yeah.
You forge your own identity on the backs of history. You don't get rid of history to forge your own identity. You couldn't forge an identity while having all the history. To me, this is bigger than Mike McDonald or his team. And history is always going to be bigger than you. This is about Sean Alexander and Dave Craig and Joey Galloway and Brian Blades and Cortez Kennedy. Do I need to go on?
Yeah.
This is about Dan McGuire, and he was weak. Okay? This is about our histories.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, yo, this is big. It's a misstep, in my opinion, because he doesn't understand what it means to us. In Green Bay, would they get rid of Vince Lombardi and Brett Favre? No. I went to a Raiders game this year, fam. I went to a game last year at the Raiders. They got Lester Hayes, Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen stuff up everywhere. They don't play anymore.
Right.
John Madden and all of that stuff. Howie Long. Are you kidding me? You want to erase the history? You must be out of your mind. Imagine Pittsburgh getting rid of the Immaculate Reception. Are you kidding me? Franco Harrison. No. Washington getting rid of Doug Williams and the Hogs and the Posse. And no, I'm sorry, people. I'm yet to hear someone tell me how this is okay. I understand the logic. I just disagree with it. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. You can forge your own identity without erasing history. The last thing I'll say, so we can move on, is just this misstep. My concern is it could piss off two people. Number one, the fans, of which I am one, and number two, the legends. One thing legends do not want ever to be is erased. That's the reason they love the Hall of Fame. They want to be remembered. And when you make a move like this, I don't know if Sherm and Cam and all the B-Wags and all them guys are sitting back waiting on you to, probably not Bobby, he's still playing, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're waiting for you to make a misstep. And let's say he starts struggling, then you start hearing them speak up. And the real motivation is you erased me. Yeah. So I wish he wouldn't have done it. I love him. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of John Snyder. You guys will know that, but I'm like, Johnny boy, how'd you let him get away with this one? I don't know. That's it. I'm done. Yeah. That's my time.
Respect.
How'd I do?
Hey, I was feeling it, man. You had a lot on your chest. You got it off. Now we can move on. You said your piece, man.
Let's do it, man. All right, let's talk. First topic of the day. NBA season is over as of right now, about 10, 15 minutes ago. So I got a question for you, Green. First and foremost, we're talking, who is your MVP? Talk to me and make it make sense.
Okay, so I got to break it down into two parts. You're not going to like it, but hey, I got to talk my ish, right? So who I think is going to win the award is Jokic, the Joker. Reason being is because this dude is completely unreal. His team is favored to come out of a loaded West again. And I think everything starts and goes with him. He's consistent. He shows up. He rarely gets injured. And everything around him is easier because of him. And so you remove him from the Nuggets. Not only are they not favorites to win the championship, they're probably in the play-in. And so when you take into account all those factors and his efficiency, all these, stats that are broken down nowadays, like he just rates so high in all of them, it's hard to really knock what he does. But that's not what I want to do. I want to give my MVP to a guy who I feel is completely underrated, disrespected, and he go by the name of Luka Doncic, right? Luka.
Okay.
Right? Now, a lot of people might have thought I was going to go Shea. Shea is very deserving. OKC finished first
I know
West.
you love Shea, so I thought for sure you were going Shea.
I do. Shea is a problem. I would not be mad if he finished second. But to me, Luka Doncic, I've watched him kill some of the greatest perimeter defenders that this game has to offer. We get a treat coming up here with Clippers versus Dallas Mavericks. The way this guy, he's averaging over 30 points a game, about 10 boards, 9 assists a game. This guy's ability to impact and control tempo and his impact on the game really reminds me of one LeBron James, right? Now, he's not LeBron James because he doesn't impact the other side of the ball the way LeBron did. But offensively, I mean, what are we talking about? There's nothing. He shoots the 3-ball better than LeBron did in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's not nearly as athletic, but they both pass the ball phenomenally, and they both dictate how they want things to go. And I look at a Dallas Mavericks team that added Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah.
And I seen an interview from Kyrie Irving the other day where he was getting interviewed about not making the Dream Team. And, you know, Kyrie, Brother Sunflowers, my brother Nolan call him Brother Sunflowers, right? He has a calmness to him that I haven't seen in some time. And that calmness, I think, comes from great leadership, right? We saw Kyrie at his best when he was with LeBron James. We see him now with a leader and a player that he is willing to defer to. And
can I take a timeout, man? I need
to. Did I strike a nerve? Did I strike a
nerve?
No,
no, I'm just saying that calmness. You know where that calmness comes from?
Where did it come from?
From almost being out the league, man. When your money, when it was no more money, that brother went to Sunflowers. Brother Sunflowers came out. Okay. Come on, man.
So you're not giving Luka no credit for that, huh?
No, Luka didn't do nothing with Kyrie. Kyrie made a decision. What was behind him informed him. He's always been a very thoughtful person. I'm not one of the people that like issues on him for no reason. He's got his mistakes, but I'm saying what we saw with Kyrie in the past informed where he is. He grows, he thinks a lot about his decisions. And I just think I think once he became a free agent and no one cared about his talent, and it was kind of like, oh, I could really F up my whole bag. Yeah, all of a sudden,
I got you. I'm not mad at that. I can respect that.
Okay.
Yet and still, right? Yeah. I want to give credit to what Luka has been able to accomplish on the court. And when I look at the landscape of the Western Conference, there's not a team I would fear. There's not many teams, I should say, that I would fear as much as this Dallas Mavericks team. And it all starts with Luka Doncic. And for me, that's who would be my MVP.
I ain't gonna lie to you, this MVP race, this whole playoffs is gonna be so exciting. Absolutely. I can't wait to jump into it because there's just, as soon as you start talking about them, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna be nice. But Luka, MVP, no chance. I'm not talking about should he be. I'm saying he should not be. He should not be at all. No, I don't. If somebody brought me Luka, I'd be like, Luka, no.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. And it's not just, you know me, I'm about winning, right? Yeah. And it's not just where he's seated, it's where he's seated and who's seated above him and there. So Luka's unstoppable, but that doesn't mean nothing to me because what I mean by that is, you know how many people are unstoppable? Like, you know, Embiid's unstoppable. Yeah, there's about unstoppable. Luka's unstoppable. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So is SGA, and you know what I'm saying, and so is Embiid, and so is Jokic, and you know what I mean. So I just kind of don't do that thing. My MVP.
Yes, sir.
Drum roll, please. Yeah. Jason Tatum.
Oh,
that is my MVP.
Did he just say?
I said yes. Yes, it's on. Yes.
Tatum? So explain to me how you can throw Luka Doncic out, but insert Jason Tatum.
Because couple things. Number one, I have I think it's a disgrace what we do with this award. First off, let me say this, and I think we both agree on this. I'm taking a step back. This isn't my argument. This is just context.
Okay.
I believe that you and I believe the same thing about the MVP. It's a sham. It's been done wrong.
Yeah.
It's the voting is done wrong. The criteria is off. No one knows how to vote. So it just makes it really hard. And the wrong people end up nobody listening to him.
Snow.
The MVP is Jason Tatum. I am the best player on the best team. I got the #1 record in the entire NBA, and it's not by 3. You know this thing in the West where it's like, oh, well, they're splitting games. I'm up like 15 games on everyone, your conference and mine. It's kind of like, here's the question. If not Jason Tatum, what else does he have to do? Like, what else can I'm just saying, before you answer, what else can I, if I'm Jason, I'm like, I heard him ask the question earlier in the year, and no one likes his demeanor. He's so calm and, and he was like, well, what else? Like, what else? Like, what is it then? What do I have to, is it just a numbers award? Because to me, the award is numbers plus wins, how you impact winning. And you do that better than anybody else, and you're valuable and you win. You can't tell me team, because the Joker's team is nasty.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now, if you say Luka, okay, I got you. His team isn't as great without him. But that's my MVP, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, hey, you stick on to it, brother. But shout out to Snow. I feel you, homie. That's wildness. First and foremost, if you look, you said, what does he have to do? When you look at the Boston Celtics, I think Jason Tatum is a phenomenal ball player, right? But their roster is the most talented roster in the NBA. Period, point blank. I don't know what your problem is with Jokic, but you act like Jokic isn't the straw and the ice cubes that stir the drink over, right? There's no comparison. If you take Jokic off of the Nuggets and you take Tatum off of the Celtics, I still got the Celtics, right?
No.
Yes.
Celtics ain't.
Drew Holiday.
The Celtics
Jaylen Brown, Porzingis.
That's not a fam. They're not getting out the East with that.
Okay, they might not get out the East, but Denver damn sure ain't getting out the West, right? And so
I know. So I'm not saying Jokic isn't in the running. I'm saying when you look at Jason Tatum, right? When I look at this award, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, what more does the guy got to do? I'm like,
you got to have moments. You got to have moments in a season. He hasn't had enough moments. There's games where I watch the Celtics and Jaylen Brown is just flat out better than him. I know he's a better player than Jaylen Brown, but there's games I watch and Jaylen Brown is just better than him, right?
There's games. Okay, first off, your first argument was he couldn't do it, right? You were saying Jason Tatum couldn't be it. His team is loaded. When LeBron James won his MVP, was his team loaded? When Tim Duncan won his MVP, was the team loaded? When Steph Curry won his MVP, when Magic Johnson, the fact that your team's loaded cannot be the criteria. We cannot knock him for that. I'm simply going, I'm 15 games above everyone. Do you know how hard it is in an 82-game season to get?
That's wild. That's wild.
What else can I do? I'm winning. My purpose in playing. I'm sorry. Can you quote Herm Edmonds for me? Why do we play? We play to win a game. We play to win a game. So my role, if I'm Jason, is to come out here and to win as much as possible better than everyone else. Right. I've done that. I'm an all-star. I'm an elite level player. I'm clearly on the level of the SGAs and all them at the very least. I'm sorry that my team was blowing people out and I didn't give you your moments you wanted. But do I get credit for that?
That's why you're first team All-Pro, sir. Your first team.
First team All-Pro.
Your first team All NBA, but we're talking MVP here. MVP do not check enough boxes over the likes of SGA, Jokic, and Luka. He's no higher than 4th to me. And I'm not even thinking of the rest of the year. He's no higher than 4. And I'm not even going through the whole list.
This is disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. My feelings are hurt, man.
Good.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, man. I mean, we'll agree to disagree, which is nothing new. Let's move on. Wembanyama. I'm sorry. It's not Wembanyama. It's Wemby, 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 Wemby.
How can you not listen? How can you not be excited by this young phenomenon? It's impossible. The things that he is able to do. Let me rewind though, right? So when I first saw Wemby, I didn't believe he was real. I thought he was like a Men in Black costume or something, right? And I was like, yo, is this guy really 7 whatever doing what he's doing with the Shim God and all this? So every summer I go down to Las Vegas for the summer league. Last summer I went. I got all my boys coming with me, man. Lawrence is there, Cam is there, Rasheed's there. We're all there. My boy Sean. And the first game, Wemby looks awful. And everybody's like, man, Green, you whiffed on this one. He's not going to be it. And I was like, I couldn't figure out what it was. Like, I was like, it can't be this bad for him. Something, you know what I'm saying? Something was just missing. And then the next game, he had a little better game or whatever. And then you just hear a whole bunch of, well, he ain't Chet, he ain't this, he ain't that. Season starts, Chet and OKC takes off, you know, and people's kind of like, he might be overrated, he's not good. And then all of a sudden, greatness happened. And then I mean, night after night after night after night. The amount of blocked shots this guy has had in his rookie seasons, I honestly think, no lie, he should be defensive player. I know Rudy Gobert is one of the greatest.
No, it's Wemby.
I don't understand how you can't give it to. He's a better defender than Rudy Gobert.
He is. Do you know what people do in the lane when he's? Have you seen the way people are like contorting their bodies and trying to like? They're like, after you get your shot blocked 2 times, you're like, yo, man, it's different down there, man.
It's different. He stopped the 3-on-1 fast break by himself.
Yeah.
This is the NBA.
He's an alien. He's an alien.
Yeah. That's it. That's what it is.
I have to say this. I'm glad. So I feel like I don't even have to ask the question. Yes. Rookie of the year, yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're not a Chet guy. I'd be like, when they were doing that whole Chet thing, I was like, are you guys serious with this Chet thing? Let that go. So he's defensive player of the year, rookie of the year. But since you led with, I got to give you my Wemby story. You gave me yours, right? It's kind of like, where were you when this happened? So my Wemby story is, it's actually our guy, Alvin Snow.
That's my guy.
Reached out years ago. He reached out and I was like, who's next? And he's like, oh, you want to know who's next? Because I'm like, he always thinks he knows how to scout and what's coming and who's what. Right. So he was like, I was like, well, who's next? And he sends me a video of him. Right. And I ain't gonna lie, my eyebrow was like, whoa. But I gave him the, you know what I mean? I gave him the some soft foreigner, some soft dude. He's not coming over here to do nothing. Right. So we left it alone. A year passed. That Wemby's probably, you know, if you will, sophomore year type deal, you know. A year and a half passes. And last year, for people who don't know, I'm a Spurs fan, die hard, been a Spurs fan, went through all the years, got 5 rings, lived all of them. So, Wembanyama, so last year, I started trolling him, and I said, we're tanking for Wemby. Early in the year. And I was like, and then when we got rid of DeJounte Murray, I was like, we're tanking for Wemby. He was laughing it off because he's like, it's not going to work. Like, bro, you know, the ball's got to fall your way. I'm like, it's meant to be. He's a foreigner. We had Manu. We had Parker. He's coming to us. And when listen, I picked up the phone and called all my guys. And all Wemby. I started that cry before anyone had ever done it. You can't tell me nothing. I was running around my living room, fam, like, we got Wemby. Do you know what my future is right now? You know how bright it is for me?
It's brighter than mine.
Oh, listen.
Come on, man.
I cannot. When Kawhi left, my heart sank. And now, Wemby, and then he just said yesterday that all these players have been in his DMs wanting to play with him.
Come on.
Woo!
Come on. It's about to get real serious out there in San Antonio.
That's all I'm saying. You might want to get on down there.
Come on.
I appreciate your call on old Wimby.
Yeah.
Let's talk playing. We're gonna move. Let's keep it going. For people who are watching TV today, the plan is finally set. New Orleans won tonight. And so that was over with. And what's your overall thoughts on the plan? Do you like it? You know what I mean? It's relatively
the playing in general.
Yeah,
So
and then really your thoughts on this year. What do you think of the tournament? Yeah,
got you. So initially, I'm not gonna front. I thought the plan was whack, and I was like, who is this guy sullying our game? What is the plan, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was just like what do we care about extra additional 2 teams? Like we know our 8, get in or you don't, right? But I can't front. I think it's added more excitement. I think it's lent itself to teams wanting to stay more competitive throughout. You don't see nearly as many teams tanking. And so I think it's been good for the game. And if you can get hot at the right time, a la Los Angeles Lakers last year, a la Miami Heat last year. Miami goes to the finals, Lakers goes to the Western Conference Finals, and the rest is history. So just those examples, give teams hope. And so I think it was a genius move that I can't front that I wasn't all in on at first, but sign me up now. And as far as this year, it's been bittersweet. Very happy that the Lakers handle business. But the injuries, obviously, to Jimmy Butler and to Zion, really takes a little bit of wind out of my sails, because I really think Zion was going to have a coming out party in these playoffs. And to see him up against a young OKC team would have been great to see. And then Jimmy Butler, man, like, you got to give Miami Heat shots to the dome, like 14 straight, man. You got to be like, yo.
Do.
Yeah, like, for real. Because, like, even when you look at them today, like, Chicago is a team. Me, you and Snow was talking about this earlier. Like, Chicago's a team that's like kind of a joke, right? But there's talent there, And for Miami to be able to go in, albeit at home, without their leader, Jimmy Butler, and to win by 20 just speaks to the culture, to the type of players that they have there, and to their mentality. And this time of year, it's a lot of mental. You know what I'm saying? Your mental has to be right. And so if you keep Jimmy Butler on that team, Boston had their hands full. They still might, but they was going to really have their hands full if Jimmy Butler was there. So it's a little bittersweet for me.
I think if they were 100% healthy, Butler and then Rozier, if all of them were there, Boston would have, 6-7. Like, we're going the full load. They're just a good team. I feel the same way about the plan. I echo your sentiments. I got much to add, but I was frustrated by the injuries. Like, seeing Zion, man, it was his moment. Truth be told, I did want the Lakers to win and the Warriors to win, just because I wanted my stars in it. Whatever. That's the old fashioned part of me that I'm like, but I'm open to somebody taking the spot, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody just steps up, you can become the new star by taking the spot. And I'm like, yo, I respect that. I like what Zion was doing while I was watching. I was like, hey, because he has struggled traditionally against the Lakers. I've watched a few games of theirs dating back to last year, and it always looks like with Zion, like AD and Bron just look like there was one game Bron just kind of had that, like, we're just going to sag on this dude.
Yeah.
He can't shoot. He's going to come to the cup, and there's 2 trees down here. What are you going to do, fam?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it was like, but this was the first time it felt like AD figured it out. I mean, Zion figured it out. I love players to go through something where, let's say, even like in a series where game 1 or game 2, somebody's doing something to you, and then you have to like adjust and figure it out. I love that. And so what it felt like to me was Zion was figuring out, how do I play against AD and Bron to the tune of 40 points? And when he got injured and he just balled his fist, I think it was also the frustration that it was an injury and people have talked about his weight. And that can't be the answer right now. That he's not fat right now. He looks in great shape. It just was unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I would like to talk about with the plan, though, is, in your opinion, the Warriors, right? Where do they go from here, right? What happened to them? Where do they go? And do they blow it up? You know what I'm saying? What's your thought on the Warriors? What would you do? What would you do if you were the GM?
Well, I'm blowing it up, and the reason why is, well, let me take that back. Out of respect for Chef, I'm pulling Chef in, and I'm asking him, how does he feel about me blowing it up, right? And so I'm going to ask him how he feels about that, and I'm going to try to sell him on why I believe we need to blow it up. And it doesn't necessarily mean that under no circumstances am I going to keep Draymond and Klay in the fold. Me and you talked about this a couple of weeks ago, to where at the right price, I could keep those guys in the fold, right? But if they're talking, they want a certain amount of money and they want certain roles guaranteed, then we might got to look in other directions. I only have so many more years of Chef Curry being great. Everybody can't be LeBron James, right?
No.
Only so much longer do I have this guy, Chef Curry, who's extremely special. And I think they need to strike now so they can give themselves as many strikes at the potential of winning a championship as possible. And so I don't know who's going to be out there, and we never know. But every year, it's just like magic that people become available in July, right?
Yeah, they do.
They do. End early, you know what I'm saying? And you start being like, man, I'm not feeling this no more. If Greek and them guys lose to the Pacers in the first round, you think Greek is as sold on being in Milwaukee? I don't know if Dame wants to be there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can give Greek. Maybe I can get Embiid if they go home early. You never know. But I would be open to the idea. I would try to sell him on it, because I don't know. It's not about just the Warriors. It's about keeping up with the Joneses out in the West. And I feel like they need another dog alongside Steph to do that, because I don't think the West is going anywhere anytime soon. And it's shown that Steph will not be able to do it by himself.
I never think anyone can do it on their own. I think you just got to have help. That's just the nature of basketball. I'll say this. If I'm the Warriors, what would I do? I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna put on my Drazy Myers hat. And I'm not Dunleavy Myers. Dunleavy's ruining this thing. So I'm gonna put on my Drazy Myers hat. And what I would do is, first off, is I might have been given a gift. Okay. And this might seem weird, but the gift they might have been given was, first off, losing in the play-in might have been the best thing for them. The Warriors needed to accept that they were further away than they thought, right? Like they lost and they got their ass beat by Sacramento, who just got their ass beat, right? And it looked like they could have played that game 3 times and they would have lost all 3 of them, right? It was just Sacks better than you. Sorry, guys, this is it. So the Warriors, if I'm them, well, I'm sorry, back to the gift they were given was they got the reality check. We're far away. So now you really got to make moves. All that stuff they were doing during the trade deadline where they were just like, we don't think we're far. And then the second half of the year, we can play with anybody. It's like, yo, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Because I'm not seeing this the way you guys are seeing it.
Right.
So that's one. The second gift they were given was Klay Thompson going 0 for 15 or whatever in that last game.
Yeah.
There's no way he wants to end his career in Golden State like that. And number 2, it's some part of him is going, oh, maybe I'm not that guy, right? Like maybe he's willing to take a little bit less. Maybe the low ball works a little bit. All we need is Klay Thompson to be the number 3. So you got to bring in a 2. Somebody else has to come in. So what I'm doing as the GM, what's old boy's name? Wiggins. Yeah. See you later, fam. Hey, thank you for your service. Thanks for your service, son.
You helped us hoist. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. We much appreciate it. We're gonna probably get a remodel at the big man. I like this young kid, Dale Davis' son. We're gonna keep you around. Hey, Looney. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you for your service. Those guys are gone. We're gonna keep Pajimski and we're gonna keep our young core together. Now, we are going to free agency. And in free agency, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. The guy, you know who we're going after? Donovan Mitchell. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. We're going Donovan Mitchell to put next to Chef Curry. We're going to have Clay at the 3 or Kuminga. We're going to keep all the young guys together. We're going to free up money, and this is how we're going to do it. Chris Paul does not have a guaranteed contract this year. So that entire $40 million he's making, we can wipe off the books with no problem. But we're not. We're going to trade him to Cleveland with picks, and they can have a young guy if we have to do that, just to get Donovan Mitchell, right? And that the contracts will match. We're going to get Donovan Mitchell in the house, and they can wipe their books clean over in Cleveland because there's a lot of talk about Mitchell wanting out of Cleveland. That's my plan. I'm figuring it out. And if it doesn't work just off of me thinking, I'm gonna tell Draymond to give Donovan Mitchell the KD call, go outside, start crying. I want you to start crying, and I want you to be like, yo, man, come save us. And Donovan Mitchell, you know what I'm saying? Give him the call. Give him the KD call.
I hear you.
This has been dope. I wanna do something real quick. We got a guest, people, that we want to bring on today.
Hey.
One of my guys, he hails from Franklin Quaker. You know what I mean? He's a Franklin Quaker. He also was at Eastern University, where he is a Hall of Famer at Franklin, a Hall of Famer at Eastern University. He's got jerseys in the Raptors. He also played overseas for like a decade, and he is currently an agent for some of the best players in the world. And we get the opportunity to bring him on here. So please welcome to the show for the first time, Alvin Snow.
What's good with you?
Hey!
Let's get it.
What's up? Hey, we got the Hall of Famer in the building,
The Famer.
Hey, real quick, man, how would you feel if they just kind of took your jersey off the Raptors and took your name out? It doesn't feel good, does it?
Hold up. What we doing?
Hey, don't do that.
What
He
we
earned
doing?
that, man. He
What we
earned
doing?
that.
I work for that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, at the VMAC, that's where they do it. That's where they do that. They do that at the VMAC, man.
I heard about that McDonald guy, man. I thought they were talking about Ronald, man.
I got a quick snow story, real quick. Quick snow story. So, I was at Wazoo while he was at Eastern, and I was roomies with our guy AG, and me and AG was watching Snow win.
Anthony Grant.
Anthony Grant. Win your conference tournament to punch your ticket to the big dance. You know what I'm saying? And you put them on your back like you did at Franklin. And I think that was the moment that solidified your jersey in the Raptors, brother. So, Dre's, if we could one more time give it up for the famous, man.
One more time. Hey.
Anthony Grant, man. That's what's up, brother. Happy to
That's
have
my
you.
dog, too.
Yeah.
I want to start. So, Snow, we were just talking about basketball. And we were just got through talking about the Warriors. And I'd love to get your thoughts just real quick on kind of where their dynasty is and what would you do to kind of try to save it, considering where things are and all the flux they're dealing with.
I think the first thing I would do is come to terms with the fact that it's over.
Wait, can it be salvaged?
Come on. It's over, man. What do you want him to say?
I mean, listen. I'm sorry. You had your run. It's been great, man. it's been amazing. You guys had a phenomenal run. I think you're gonna go down in history as like, one of those great teams that,
Absolutely.
I just think that kind of time is kind of come and gone. I think we're watching all these young guys come in and they're not playing.
Not at all.
Yeah, so in terms of
But
like,
can it be salvaged? Like, is there if you're the GM, so you're sitting in the GM seat,
sure,
they're paying you $7 million right now to
Sure.
do this. So we taking the job.
if
Now,
I'm sitting in the GM seat, I'll be honest. Here's what I would do. I would get out the seat. Okay, there's a guy named Myers. He got about
He saw it
right?
coming.
Right. And
He
I would
saw
have
it
done the
coming.
same. I would have done the
Yeah.
same. And I would have taken a look at all my other options.
Yeah.
Because I understood that this thing here, this thing of ours,
This thing of ours.
Hey, if we're being brutally honest though, one thing that the Warriors had going for them during the peak of their run was a fear factor, right?
Yeah.
You literally feared
Yeah.
the Warriors because of their ability to flip the scoreboard in a matter of seconds, right?
That's a great point.
In that arena going crazy, and it was just something that you had never seen. Like, they literally changed the game.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Teams no longer fear them. That's gone. It's like Mike Tyson, when you no longer fear Mike in the ring, and Evander's just sitting in there like, yo, let's go into 7, 8, 9 rounds. It changes things. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Sacramento was asking for the Warriors. We want the Warriors. That wasn't what was happening 5, 6 years ago.
I think where the Warriors are now is we're kind of just waiting on Draymond to bite somebody's ear. That's where
you know what though, Green? I want to say I don't think I've heard anybody make a point like that though. I haven't heard that point made that you said about that fear factor. I'm gonna be honest. It's my first time hearing it with all the takes everywhere, and one part of that fear factor that always existed was like the concept of 3 beats 2, right? That the concept was, oh man, we can bop, 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 and we're back in it, right? Or we're up on you by 16 quickly. And that's been gone, right? So that's that they had it the last time they won a championship, because at that point Jordan Poole was he was operating at a high level and he was helping to bring some of that. Clay was bringing some of that in Steph, but now that is a great point, man. The fear factor, I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that. So then I guess my next question is, we'll start with a few guys, the legends. Let's start with Steph, because that's what we were talking. I want to talk about legacies, right?
Yeah.
We'll start with Steph. What does losing in the play-in do to his legacy? For you, right?
I think his legacy cemented. I think the only place that you're going to find it, you're going to find him impacted is when you're having these conversations around comparing him to the absolute greats, and we got to start really splitting hairs, right? So at that point, when I thought you were creeping into maybe that top 5-ish area, sorry, Steph.
Yeah.
This is a ding. I just can't. It's irrefutable ding. You know what I mean? It's just So that in terms of his overall legacy, that's cemented. He's done what he's needed to do. But in terms of like trying to approach, I heard conversations of him be like approaching passing Bron, or was he past Bron, or I think things like this just really hurt his case.
It does, man. Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that when you're always chasing history, right? It's always tough. And so when you look at the LeBrons and the Magic Johnsons of the world, like when Steph was cooking, there wasn't many holes you could poke in it, right? And so you were looking at it being like, yo, he changed the game, literally, the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He's hoisted. That Celtics championship was enormous for his legacy, right? And so, but now when you look back, he's lost 3 out of 4 play-ins, right, where he didn't make the playoffs. LeBron has sent him home 2 of the last 3 years, and so when you look at the eras, you always have the finals you go off of, but this will now start when you went off of just the finals. Steph would have the edge if you just went off of their record. But now when you start adding in, since Bron has come to the West, Bron beat them play in and sent them home 1 year, and then last year they swept them in the semis, and so now, like you were saying, Snow, he's starting to fall behind Bron, right? He's starting to fall behind Magic, which is still a solid top 10 case.
Yeah.
But top 5, top 3, he would have to finish extremely strong for him to get back into that consideration, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I always say that these guys are not playing against each other. They're playing history. So the conversations get convoluted when we're all talking, because sometimes you're talking about each other, but what you're really talking about, you don't know is, well, yeah, I only mean that because I'm talking about in comparison to Magic or comparison to Bron. Right. And so people think when you're like, he's weak. No, he's not weak. I meant like, or he's not that good. It's like, yo, that's not what I mean. Right. And so I agree with both of you guys. I think it's a ding. There's no, to your point, Snow, there's nothing can touch his overall legacy.
Right.
But you're at this level, you're either, you got 2 baskets.
Yeah.
One basket is putting in rings, and rings are it. That's it. All those other things, there's nothing else for them to collect. There is you can't be like, well, I went to the Western Conference Finals. So what, right?
Yeah.
You're correcting rings in that. Like, that's big for James Harden, right?
Yeah.
But for these guys, they're collecting rings.
Yeah.
But on the other bag, they're collecting, as you said, I like the word dings. He got dinged, right? He just, when I start having the conversation and I have to process, where do I rate you? I will always look and go, yeah, but you didn't make the playoff. You didn't even make, I ding people. Everybody has their own rating system. I ding you for not making the playoffs. So if you're like, if he'd have made the playoffs and then got there and we see, but like, you didn't even make the playoffs, there's no way you can be in what I call, when you're in an elite level of talent, like when Kobe Bryant missed the playoffs, right? He missed the playoffs altogether, but he was cooking. He was averaging 30 something, right? So you're still in your prime. I don't mind if you've ascended and you're out, you're coming off the bench. I don't care about none of that. But if you're still in what we call some level of prime level of play, and you miss the playoffs, I'm going to bring it up when the conversation comes up. I'm going to be like, 100%. Well, you didn't miss the playoffs. Tell me why. Tell me why he didn't and you did. And make it make sense, right?
Yeah. Right.
Make it make sense. Okay. Well, let's switch gears let's get to our other guys. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. What does this playoffs mean to his legacy, and what needs to happen to either cement or maintain or grow his legacy? We'll say that. Take it wherever you want.
Yeah, I think KD really needs he really is kind of like in a difficult spot where he's got to come up with something right now. He's got to dig deep and find a way to steal a championship somehow here as the lead dog, because the way history is going to look back on KD, I believe as it is at this very moment, if everything stays the same and it's just more of the same, man, it won't be so favorable on KD. I think we're going to be looking at him saying, man, that dude was super talented.
What a waste.
He really just never did it.
Yeah.
He just never did it. Not on his own, not when it was his time to do it. Now, was he the best player on Golden State when he was there? Sure. But it was Golden State. They were already Golden State. Let's be clear about that, right? So KD, right now, it's looking like nasty work. I really hope for KD's sake he can figure out a way to turn this thing around, because I don't want his name to be remembered as the guy who just, who didn't, couldn't,
Yeah.
and should have, but wouldn't, or I just, that bothers me already just thinking about it. So
So
he's
it
gotta
sounds
figure it
like
out.
you're saying the cement's not dry in his legacy. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Is it
No,
is it
Steph's
kind of
is and
not
his
dry?
isn't. Steph's is and his isn't.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
He got a whole lot more writing to do, and he's aging.
What about you, Green? What do you think?
Man, I mean, I'm tough on Kev Durant, man. I feel the goalpost has been moved for him several times,
Mm-hmm.
and excuses continue to be made for this guy. If you told me Kevin Durant had LeBron's resume, Kevin Durant would get the respect that LeBron doesn't. And if LeBron had KD's resume, all the slight on LeBron James would be justified, right? That's the way I feel about it. If you told me LeBron only had one when he was with Dwayne Wade and never hoisted any other way, and every other stop he's been at has been worse off after he left, that's what it is. And when you hear Shaq, when you hear Charles, when you hear these guys talk, they'll tell you what they think, what the OGs think of them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's something they used to try to do it with Steph. That's why I said the Celtics championship was so big for Steph. People tried to slight him because they were saying, oh, well, he didn't do this and he needed Kevin Durant and da-da-da. And whatever the case may be. What Steph did was shut all that up. When he went into the Celtics, that same Celtics team who swept Kevin Durant and Kyrie, that same Celtics team swept Kevin Durant.
That's a great point.
Steph Curry takes the team on his back, beats that Celtics team in 6 with a big, monstrous Game 5, Game 6. And that's the type of things that make you live for eternity. Kevin Durant has yet to have a moment like that. And in order for him to be remembered the way Kevin Durant fans want him to be remembered, he has to do what Snow said. And he has the opportunity. He has horses, though flawed, he still has enough. If he's who everybody says he is, he has enough. He needs the hoist before it's all said and done.
I echo a lot of you guys' sentiments. I think Kevin Durant is one of those figures that I have so many conflicted things because, like you said, Snow, you're so talented. She's like, yo, you're amazing. Like you're just you're filthy, right? And then you just turn around and you be like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? I don't have the same view as you about the Warriors getting theirs that year he lost. The way I feel about the way I feel about injury is a big deal. And when your team is injured, it's just injured and it is what it is, right? And so to me, in Brooklyn, they were injured. When you construct a roster and then your roster is not there and you lose, it is what it is. I don't give you credit for winning, but I don't knock you for losing. It just is what it is. I think my bigger argument against KD is just like, okay, well, not that year. What about the next one? Okay, not that one. What about the next one? Right? Like at some point, just get it done, right? You've been in the league too long. At some point, get it done. And so I have a lot of feelings about him that I'm sure we'll get into one day. I want to stay focused on the question of his legacy. I think this season, he has a real opportunity to do something for his legacy, especially because no one sees them doing anything. As a person, I don't think they're constructed right. I've told both of you guys this. I can't stand the way the team is constructed. Get KD off of the 4, put him at the 3, get yourself a power forward, and watch your team start to ball out. This idea that he's like a different being. He's an alien living in a Golden State world. You guys are trying to construct teams like Golden State, but you don't have the missing piece, which is Steph. Steph is the stir that makes that entire thing go. He's the straw. He stirs everything. His range, his ability, his ball movement without the ball, all of that stuff is what makes it just go, right? And so for his legacy, I'll say this because I'll start rambling too much more. For his legacy, he needs to win one overall.
Yeah.
It's not a deep run is cool, right? It's cool, but you need a ring, fam. Right? You need a ring, right? And it's and what I say that, sorry, let me take this into the other conversation. You need a ring to
That is
enter
his.
that. You know what we're saying the same thing.
Mhm.
You need a ring to enter. Well, I don't say that's his because those two, those are his. But you need a ring that like to get into the other conversations that you want to be in.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
already in the top 15, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want that? That's fine. You want to for sure be in the top 10 where we start going, well, is he better than Larry Bird or I don't know who, right? I haven't done my top 10 in a while. But if you want to start entering other conversations, you need a ring, another one.
Larry Bird.
Rings.
Larry Bird. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but Larry Bird, I believe, won 3 MVPs while Jordan was in the league. Wow.
Come on.
Well,
Preach, no.
we got to chill.
We gotta
we got to chill on
We
just
gotta
giving
chill.
passes for
We gotta
dudes
chill.
like
I think you
him
guys.
beat on Larry
First
Bird.
off, let me say this because if you heard my statement, I did
know, I
not
heard
say.
what you said. I heard what you
Okay,
said.
I just want to be. I was
Yeah.
trying to grab a name. And
I
go,
got you.
If
Okay.
I said, if
Okay.
hear me, I said if he wants to enter the
Right.
conversation where we say your top 10, and I said I don't even know who my top 10 is,
Yeah.
but if he wants to enter that,
Right.
but since we're doing that, let's pause on the whole what he did while Michael Jordan was there because that's we're being fictitious around all of that now. Let's be on some of that,
What?
but let's go.
Jordan was clearly in the league when he won his 3 MVPs.
Listen, when I'm talking about, you're talking about a baby. You don't act like this is not head up.
Oh,
This
my
is-
gosh.
This is like Michael Jordan playing for the Pistons right now. He's not going to win it over Jokic. So let's not act like it was because Larry wasn't better than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. Michael Jordan's second season, what did Larry Bird say? That was God disguised as Michael
He bigged him
Jordan.
up.
Stop
Magic.
it, please.
Magic was in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Kareem was in the league.
Yeah.
yeah. Kareem was old.
Okay, you got
Kareem
an
wasn't-
excuse for everybody.
Kareem was old. Guys.
Okay.
Him and
If-
Magic came in at the exact same time, fam.
Yes. You want to say Magic?
Okay.
You didn't get an argument. That's okay. Magic got his MVPs too, so it's not like
Yeah.
Magic got his and he got his. I'm like,
And
that's
Magic
not.
solidified in the top 5.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying when you started talking about like Kareem, I'm going, yo, fam. Kareem was the 70s, man. That guy by the 80s. By the time Larry Bird and them really got cooking, it was. Kareem was.
Can we-
Hey,
Kareem was
Skyhook
just
was
a-
Skyhook. Skyhook was still Skyhooking in the
Hey,
80s, fam.
they don't.
It was.
them
It was.
Lakers-
It was.
the
It
Showtime
was.
Lakers ain't hoisting without Kareem.
No, they're not.
Bird alone. Let's just leave
We-
Bird alone.
I love
was-
Bird.
Let's leave Bird alone.
I love
Okay.
Bird. I love Bird.
I have a question. I just want clarification because
Okay.
you said something that so you was like those 2 rings of KD's are his as
Yeah, let's
in,
get to that.
like so like are you what does that mean for Steph?
They're his.
So they're theirs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
they're
What do you?
theirs, right?
I have no. Yeah. I'm not. I'm saying like no offense.
Okay.
Those rings are Dwayne Wade's. Those rings are LeBron's.
Okay.
Like we're not. I'm saying there's a point where, let's be clear. There's a point where somebody is. You got yourself a kind of a Robin, but then there's a point where you got a guy who's like, no, you got yourself. Like Dwayne Wade was top 5 players in the NBA when they won that. What do you want me to do with that? Right. So I'm saying when I say KD was a top 5 player and so was Steph. To me, KD was the best player in the NBA at that point. In that moment when they won it.
He was
Yeah.
never better than LeBron.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's a whole
Yeah.
nother- he was-
We'll
he was
disagree.
like-
We'll disagree.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
never better than LeBron.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
better than LeBron.
Hold on.
But-
There's 3 of us here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Randy, I agree with you.
Yes,
Dregs, you lose.
Thank you. End of discussion. Alex, end of discussion.
There you
Kevin Durant has never been better than LeBron a day in his life, and that's what
I'm with you.
That's
Yeah,
the
you're
part that
crazy.
irks- a
He's
day
better
in
than
his
him
life.
now. He's better than him now.
Okay, we'll see what they do in the playoffs.
Excuse me,
Hey,
better
guys.
than them now.
We have a show now, Dre.
The Lakers,
Show now.
yeah, the Lakers are a better team, but KD is better than LeBron.
Why do you say that?
I think because I think it. I don't like. Okay, I don't like the way. You guys know when team construction matters. Roster construction.
It does.
Phoenix's roster construction has two major holes.
Kevin Durant wanted this roster. This was the roster he wanted.
I told you he's a bad GM. I'm not arguing that.
Well, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that.
Well, then
He wanted to go to war with this roster. That's the roster he's going to war with.
And I agree with you. LeBron, I'm sorry. You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
LeBron didn't get a pass when he got Russell Westbrook, and nobody gave a shit about that being a bad roster. Where it was like LeBron wanted the roster.
Talk.
Kevin Durant.
LeBron is it. I don't have a problem with that. That's not my argument. So you want to beat your chest. I'm with you. I agree with everything you just said. There we go. But if we're talking about who's better, it's Kevin Durant right now.
Not a day in his life.
Not
a day in his life.
He's better than him. He's
not
better
a
than
day
him.
in his life.
He's better than him. He's better than him.
He's not.
Right now. He's better than him.
We can move on.
All right. Last one. So what are these playoffs? What do they mean to LeBron's legacy? Same thing. What can happen? What does he need? What can happen for his legacy?
Man.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause.
Hold on. Wait.
Show, tell him the name of the show, Dre.
Talk yo ish, fam. You gotta talk yo ish, man.
Talk it, man.
Hey,
Here's the deal.
Hey, and as a blind witness, we want to hear what you have to say. Come on, give it to us. Talk yo ish.
Listen. If they get Denver done, if they get Denver out of here, my eyes are gonna get real big, and I'm gonna start really looking heavy and hard about where I'm putting Bron. Because if they get Denver out of here, now does that mean they're gonna go get it done? No, they got a hell of a road in front of them.
Yep.
But if they get through this defending champ, who looks like world beaters yet again, that's gonna be a strong first statement, right? Then they move on. If they somehow get through this West, they get to Boston or I don't even think it's talk my ish, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk yo ish.
I heard earlier before I jumped on, I heard Doomy screaming this whole Jason Tatum talk.
Lord have mercy.
And I'm a fan of the kid. I think he's wildly talented.
Yes.
But I also believe that he just finds a way to come up small in like the most inopportune moments. And so a part of me just believes if a guy like Bron is across from him, or if a guy like Kawhi is across from him, and you're talking a final, I just believe he's going to come up small. And a guy like Kawhi is going to hoist, or a guy like LeBron's going to hoist, right? So I'm looking at the Lakers, and I'm saying if they can get by Denver, and if they can find themselves in the finals, and LeBron's looking eye to eye at Jason Tatum, LeBron's going to be in a conversation after that series that we got to entertain when we look at number 23 and we say, hey man,
Don't do that.
Just a conversation. I didn't say
no.
anything
Don't do that.
more than that. We got to have a conversation.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No. What about you, Green?
Well, for me, it's pretty simple to me. I'm never mad at anybody who says Michael Jordan is the greatest they've ever seen. Yeah. Right? Michael Jordan was unfreaking believable. But the way LeBron is playing at this age, I can't put into words, right? And so he has an opportunity.
Steroids. Hey, you know the word.
That's what haters say. That's what haters say. That's how you know he's real, though. Snow, listen. That's how you know
dude, I'm having fun.
He's so great, they say he's cheating.
Come on.
Hey. Hey, but all jokes aside, I got it from Snow. He says they were all on steroids. He'd be like, steroids.
Oh yeah. All of them.
I'm just playing,
That's
but go ahead.
They do say that.
No,
But no.
I was joking. I'm joking, but go ahead.
No, you once told me something many years ago because you and Cam are having a discussion about Ray Lewis versus Lawrence Taylor, and you were like, Ray Lewis he keeps going, like he's still playing, like just more tackles and more sacks and more, like, and it's crazy.
Looks like him too. Do the whole neck thing again. That was him for real.
I know my bro, man. I know my bro. We've been doing this for years, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like at its 40,000 points, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a pass first guy who people say who has no bag, who can't shoot, right? Who has all these deficiencies, sounds 40,000, right? At this rate. So when you ask me, what does he have to gain if he takes down Goliath over there in Denver, and then he goes on and he makes it to another conference finals, potentially back-to-back years, right? And then if he plays, let's say he plays Kawhi or Luka in a conference finals, and somehow he beats those guys, right? And then he gets to a championship. You can't tell me that we've seen anything like this, and this type of stuff deserves to be mentioned as the greatest we've ever seen. If it's not your cup of tea, I will not force it upon you.
We have seen stuff like it. We
We've
just
never
saw it
seen-
last year.
We've never seen anything like this.
Okay. Got it.
So if he does do this, if it's not your cup of tea, fine. Have your Lipton. Have your whatever you are into, right?
Old Gray.
Right? Yeah, whatever you're into, right? But hey, if you don't mind, I got some stuff to think about. If this guy could pull this off, and so that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything right now for this season and this postseason. But if he does, we're not going to act like, no, we're not doing that. This is unreal, and this is uncharted territory.
Totally agree with some points, totally disagree with others. So let's start. And people watching this, just know I'm dealing with two blind witnesses. And so as a guy who sees, sometimes you got to open their eyes. And don't worry, they've come to the right place, man. You know what I'm saying?
But before you go off on your rant, I got to say this. Hating is a weakness.
It is. Preach.
It is.
Carry on. As you were.
Yes. All right. So, know the truth and it'll set you free, brother. That's what we coming to do here. All right. Let's go back. Let's start this at where we talked earlier. And we were talking about Steph Curry, and we were talking about him not making the playoffs and how that's a ding on him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these guys are playing with two bags: championships and dings. That's it. There is nothing else. The king of moving the scoreboard is LeBron James and the blind witnesses. One of the things Randy just said was, the 40,000 points, pardon my French, that means nothing. Okay? It means, yep, yes, yeah. Nothing. Now, can I talk? Can I talk my ish?
I
need y'all to no.
But you didn't speak any French, sir.
I'm not done. I'm not done. So now, let me finish. All right. Here's why it means. Now let's go back to the conversation so you guys it makes sense. I mean that in context. Like how I told you, we're talking about history. We're not. It doesn't. 40,000 means something. I'm saying in context of the GOAT debate, it means nothing. LeBron James has more points than anyone else. It's a longevity award. He's Cal Ripken, right? And if that you want to, but Cal Ripken ain't Babe Ruth. Now you might go, well, no, that's not true. Do you know what else LeBron James is? He is the all-time leader in turnovers. And then you roll your eyes, right? So if I bring up points, then it's a big deal. LeBron James is the all-time leader in turnovers. Am I supposed to take from that oh man, he must be the worst with the ball? No, he just played longer than everyone else, and therefore he got more turnovers. And it's the same thing with points. He's not a better scorer than KD or Jordan or 1,000 other people. It doesn't mean he's not a great scorer. He's a great scorer. I don't believe that he's not a great scorer. He's just not as good as some of those others. He just played longer. Same thing. Let me give you another longevity award. Do you know who has missed more three-pointers than anyone else in the history of the NBA? LeBron James. You know who's going to be the all-time leader in free throw misses? LeBron James. So he's stacking up numbers on one, but he's stacking up numbers on the other. You guys just ain't looking at him. You ignore him. You roll your eyes, but you quote me points. I'm not done. I'm talking my age. And so let's go back to the point earlier, though. I told you guys, Steph Curry, I dinged him, and you dinged him, Snow, for not making the playoffs. You do know LeBron James, when he was out west, didn't make the playoffs as well, right? He gets dinged for that. Those are things you can't say about a Michael Jordan. The problem with LeBron James is it's not his highs, it's his lows. Oh, yeah, you don't say that about Michael Jordan. You don't say when he broke his leg. Is that what you're talking about? Michael Jordan made the playoffs, fam. And and remember, I told you, when you reach your prime years, you cannot miss the playoffs, right? And so when you talk about LeBron James, he missed the playoffs more than once out west. Since he's come out west, he's been out here 6 years. He missed the playoffs twice. He got swept once. You can't get swept. These are dings. Sweeps are dings. Missing the playoffs are dings.
He got swept in the conference finals.
No, you got swept. You don't get swept, fam.
To the eventual champ.
Let me be clear. No, that means nothing. You got swept. You can't get swept. You can't get You can't get swept if you're. It's too many lows. That's my point. When you look at Bron's lows, there's just too many to be compared. What he can do for his legacy, though, let's talk about what he can do. What he can do for his legacy is inch higher. He won't be able to pass Kobe or Michael, but he can inch higher. Yeah, he's not past Kobe. Hold on. Snow, is LeBron James better than Kobe? Is he past Kobe? Yay or nay? Keep it a buck.
Are you talking your issue or are you asking me to talk mine? Because if I'm talking mine, your tirade's over.
Is he better? Is he better than him?
Are you done?
Is he better? I knew you wouldn't answer it. My guy's evading. So I think the point is what he can do for his legacy is he can move higher. He can't move higher than Kobe Bryant. He can't move higher than Michael Jordan. And I'll say one last thing to you, Snow, to give you context to what you said earlier. You talked about me and Cam's arguing about Ray Lewis. Great point, right? And how I was saying Ray just keeps stacking them, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why it mattered with Ray is because Ray already had things that were comparable to Lawrence Taylor. So it was Ray already had the same things comparable to Lawrence Taylor, and now he was stacking on top of them. Bron doesn't have the things comparable to Michael Jordan. So the things he doesn't have the rings comparable. He doesn't have the scoring titles. He doesn't have the defensive player of the years. He doesn't even have those. So what he's stacking is like scoring him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the all-time leading scorer. We never called him the GOAT because of it. Karl Malone had more points than Michael Jordan. It didn't make him better. The point is, for LeBron James, the one thing he needs is rings. And the thing he can't get away from is even if he gets the Michael Jordan discussion is gone. It's gone. The years where he could have done something about it are out of here. Okay? When you look at LeBron James, when you're trying to compare him to Michael Jordan, okay, ring-wise, I heard Chris Broussard say this on TV today. He was like, man, he was talking about if LeBron James was to go and win a championship this year, what that would mean. And he's like, all rings are not built the same. That's his belief. I'm one who believes in that. I agree. All rings aren't built the same. There's still a ring, but they ain't all built the same. LeBron James super team rings are like, are you kidding me? You went down there to Miami. You got with Dwayne Wade, who was a top 5 player. You got with Chris Bosh, right? And then you guys brought in a slew of free agents, right? And you got out of there with 2 rings? That's a failure, fam. That's a failure. So you want to compare somebody like that to a guy who goes Yeah, in my era, none of y'all eat. In LeBron's era, everybody eats. Everybody gets a ring.
Oh,
You
I
get a
got-
ring, and you get it. All right,
Okay. You done?
Go ahead.
Okay. Can I
Go
talk
ahead.
my ish?
yes.
So, couple things. I just want you to know I forgive you, first and foremost. Okay?
Thank you.
Secondly, yeah.
Thank you.
I got
Thank
you.
you.
It's all good. First and foremost, you talk about it's a longevity, Cal Ripken, blah, 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 blah. LeBron was the youngest at every point threshold ever. He got it earlier than Kobe, who everybody raised about how his scoring was. He was bound to be the best scorer. Nope, I didn't call a timeout when he was talking. I just stayed silent. Can I talk my ish? Thank you. Okay. Every point, LeBron was the youngest to do this, and I don't care that
Yeah.
he came out of high school. Nobody could have been. No one's been as great.
What did you say?
I talk my ish. No one has been as great as LeBron was coming out of high school as LeBron. Okay? So he was able to do what no one else would, maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know, because I wasn't alive back then. But I heard he was a problem. He was killing at UCLA. But LeBron was fresh out of high school, giving the Sacramento Kings, who was giving those Lakers problems, came out the gate 25-7-7. That's point number one. Point number two, you talk about Michael Jordan never missed the playoffs because Michael Jordan played with a team who had a damn near MVP when he didn't play and won 55 games the season he didn't play. Like, he didn't even play, and they won 55 games. So you add Michael Jordan to that team, of course they're never missing the playoffs.
Sound a little bit like KD to me.
Come on, man. Listen, if we're going to point out, and I'm not knocking Michael Jordan. I'm just saying, you like to point out facts. You don't want to call that up. When he didn't play, they won 55 games, and Scottie Pippen finished third in MVP voting.
These are the worst points ever.
Okay, well, hey, you can say what. Can I talk my stuff? You're talking under your breath. I hear you. You're speaking under your breath. I hear you.
I know.
Randy,
Okay.
how about what? Randy, we haven't mentioned Michael in Washington.
Yeah, that tends to get forgotten, right? And I'm sure Dooney will give us a great excuse for why that is.
Can I give? Let me give you a response
I'd
to
rather
it.
not. I want to know if Snow has something else to say. We gave you
Okay.
20 minutes.
Well, that's because that's because you guys. I'm fighting two people. So when you take 10 and he takes 10, then it was 20. So I'm trying to equal yours.
You should just learn. You don't have to.
No.
fight.
I'll
It's a
say
choice,
this.
Dooney. It's
Let
a
me say
choice.
this, and I do want to get us to move on so we can get into our playoff predictions. But to your thing, I do give it up. LeBron James is a better old man than Michael Jordan was. So I don't have a problem with that. He's a better old, like at this age, he's better than Michael Jordan was. I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me at all. He's a better old man than Michael Jordan. But you're talking about prime years. Yeah, no. And we'll save that discussion for some other time. There's so many good arguments. I think we both have things that we're passionate about, and we're not going to change no one. Let's talk NBA playoffs as we close out here. All right, so we've got I'm going to go through the series. Everybody will make their calls, say what you think, who's doing what. We got Boston, who is playing against Miami. Boston, Miami. Who do y'all got? Let's talk about it.
I think that's no Jimmy. We don't know how long he's out, but it seems like he's going to be out a while. I think that's kind of an easy call there. Otherwise, if Jimmy was playing, I'd be
Yeah. Right.
but he's not. So we're going to go Boston in 4 or 5.
Yeah. Earlier when you were talking about Jason, I feel the exact same way about Jason. Yeah. I just called him MVP because it's not.
You didn't always. You didn't always.
No, I didn't always. I'm saying I gave him the MVP because it's not a postseason award.
Sure,
so if you tell me what's going to happen, but I'm 15 games up on everyone. What do you want me to do? Right?
No, I got
All
you.
right, so 70. I'm assuming you got Boston as well, Randy.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's Randy, I'm gonna go to you next on this one first. Cavs versus Magic. What do you got?
You know what? I got the Cavs, but I think it's gonna be better than people think. I think Paolo is really about to show out and show people he's one of those guys. But I just think if Cleveland can stay healthy, they're formidable, and I got them in probably 6 or 7.
All right, 6 or 7. real quick, what about the Boston matchup? What do you got numbers wise? How many is it going?
Man, just off of the culture, I say probably 6.
Boston in 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said 4
right.
or 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you got, Snow, for Cavs Magic?
I got the Cavs, and to be honest, I got the Cavs probably. So when I say 5, I kind of look at 5 like a sweep. It's what I call like a gentleman's sweep. You know what I mean? So I got the Cavs in 5 or 6. I'm leaning more 5-ish, just because I think it's one of those times where the Magic had a great year, but there's something that you just kind of have to learn about playoff basketball. I don't think they've done that yet, and it's just part of their process. They'll get there. Paolo's a monster, right? He's on his way, no question. That's undoubtable. But I think there's always that education that just kind of has to happen when it comes to the playoffs. And I think the Magic are gonna have to kind of go through that. Cleveland's been through that process. I think they'll get them in and out of here.
Yeah. I'm with you, Green. I think I'm on the 6 or 7 thing. And it's more of, I could see it going either way. So it doesn't mean I don't see your point, Snow. I'm like, I can see it going either way, but my statement is much more about the Cavs and how weird they've been. They're like topsy-turvy. One day they're one thing, the next day they're another, and it's just kind of like, I agree with you. If Cleveland was playing to their full potential, yeah, I agree. Same thing, right? Donovan Mitchell is the difference, right? He's been there, he's done that, and he's the goods. But because he's kind of banged up, it doesn't seem like he's still 100% yet, and they don't know what they are. I say it goes 6 or 7 because of that. And I got Paolo to play big, right? I hope it. That's probably my heart more than my head, but I got him to play big because I want him to play big.
Right.
All right, so here we go. We are going with
this is a tough one.
Who are the Pacers playing? The Pacers
The
are playing the Bucks.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Pacers, Bucks.
Snow, you want to go?
I'd rather not. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a pick 'em.
It is a pick 'em. I think I'm fearful that Greek's not going to be right? And I think if you were to tell me he was right, I would actually have the Bucks probably going far because I just believe in Greek and Dame so much. But it's already a bad matchup for them. They've struggled with them all season, and Greek's already out game 1, which means he's probably going to miss game 2.
Yeah. And
last year, I believed in Greek through injury, and they went home to Milwaukee in the first round. I'm not falling victim again. I think, unfortunately,
they went home to who in the first round?
Miami.
Oh,
last year. And so I'm gonna go with the Pacers. I just think they're healthy, and I think Greek's gonna be hobbled. And I don't know how quick he can get healthy on that Achilles or calf or whatever it is.
What you doing, Snow?
Yeah, I think. If we're talking injury, then yeah, that kind of, if the best player in the series is hurt,
right?
I think you're not left much of a choice. But if he's healthy, if he's healthy, I'm going Bucks. If he's not, I'm going Pacers. So
yeah, I'm probably in the same place as you. No, I'm going Bucks either way, healthy or not. I got the Bucks. I got Dame to step up. I think they're a really good team. I think Middleton showed some flashes of getting better. And Indiana has done the same thing. And if it comes to a game 7, I got Dame. So I just figure out. I say that the Bucks figure out a way to get it done somehow, some way. If I had to make a bet on it, because I think health is a part of it, and he's not playing game 1, I'm gonna go. He's not gonna play game 1. That's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? I think he probably shows up by game 3 or 4 or something like that. So I'm going. But with or without him, I say Bucks figure it out.
Hey, I'm taking notes here just because I I want to be able to revisit this with you guys at some point here. So
Mhm.
I just want to make
It's
sure I
on
didn't get.
video. It's on
Okay, but I
video.
didn't get. I'm not for sure. I got Randy's
Oh,
Cavs Magic pick.
I got Cavs in 6 or 7.
Okay, that's right. I got you. Got you.
moving on. That is the East. Now let's go to the West.
No, we got one more. We got one more.
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss?
We got the Knicks and the Sixers.
Oh, Knicks Sixers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I watched the game the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid's not
That's
looking like
the
Embiid,
thing, right?
bro.
That's the thing. But how much do we want to buy into that? Maybe he's working himself back into shape. Maybe that's
Nah, it don't work like that, Randy.
You think
It
he's
don't
gonna
work.
be?
It don't. Family, it don't work like that, bro. This, it don't. It
I'm
just
trying to
doesn't.
be
Nah, this ain't the time to be trying to work nothing into nothing.
yeah,
You gotta have
yeah.
it figured out by now, and they don't. So I'm not even.
Well, hold on. I gotta ask you a question, Snow. Going back to the last one because you're over there taking notes, so I want to make sure. So if Giannis misses one game, then you're with. If he doesn't play game one, you're with Indiana, right? Right now you got it both ways. He is injured game one. He's not playing. So where are you going?
No, I would say if he's playing and he's like the same, if he's the version that we see of Embiid, like this hampered but playing, then no, I'm not going with the Bucks.
Fam, listen, as of right now, you got Indiana and the Bucks.
No, as of right now, what I have is if the best player in the series is healthy, I got them.
He's not.
No, but we don't know how he's going to show up.
So you're going to wait till game 3, watch him, then make a call? Can I wait till game 3
I'm telling
too?
you my call. If he's hampered and he's if he's hampered the way that I see him being hampered, right?
Okay, well then I'm with you.
But if he's healthy, I'm going with him.
I got the same call. I mean,
okay,
I got the same call. If he's not healthy, then okay, let's move on. All right, so back to the Knicks. You were saying,
yeah, Embiid. Look, I watched the playing game, and he just didn't look good at all to me. He made some huge shots, and he contributed in great ways. I was looking at how he was unable to move defensively. It just wasn't a good look. I don't see them getting through this series, and I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not. I don't think they're as good as a 2 seed, maybe. I mean, obviously they earned it, but I just don't see them running through the East and making it to the conference finals. They'll get out this series, and East is kind of down, so maybe they do make it to the conference finals. But I don't see them being an actual contender and making it to the finals or anything like that. So, but I gotta go with the Knicks in this series.
you want to go green or me?
You can go ahead.
I am reluctantly. The Knicks are. This is the toughest one for me to call because I'm not a Knicks fan, and I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. Jalen Brunson is amazing. I just look up and I'd be like, "You guys don't have nobody. You guys are banged up, injured, and he's just putting them on his back and finding a way." And so I just gotta go Sixers. Sorry. I'm going 76ers. Yeah, I don't believe them. I don't believe the Knicks. And I think Embiid will do enough. I believe in Maxey. I think they have enough. I think they have a decent squad. They got some pieces on there, right? Batum, those guys who like Oubre's been playing really well. I'm going 76ers over the Knicks. And so 6 or 7, but it's my call. It won't be a quick one though. I don't think anybody's sweeping nobody. I'm just 6 or 7. It's going to be a tough fight.
I feel both you guys. I actually happen to like the Knicks. I've been impressed by them. I like the way DiVincenzo's shooting the ball. I love the way Josh Hart gets after it. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And like obviously it was college, man, but like these guys are collegiate champions like 2 times over.
Yeah.
And you know, they really get after it defensively. They're deeper with Burks and Brog, and you know, they got the big fella back with Mitch now back, and the white boy Hartenstein. I think they're going to pull it off.
Anunoby.
And yes, Anunoby, thank you,
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
And so I really like them, man. If Embiid was healthy though, it would really
Yep.
give me pause. But I think this is going to be a very physical series, and I just don't know how his body's going to respond.
Yeah.
And I don't know who they're going to put on Brunson to slow him
Wait,
down.
but I want to say if Embiid's injured, I'm going with
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
So I got
better-
the Knicks in 6, probably 7 though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Home court will come in handy for them.
So you guys both got the Knicks. I got Philly.
6.
And I'm gonna tell you to call your banker, man. Start hedging them things, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's go to the West, where it gets real crazy. We got the Clippers versus the Mavs.
That's
Clippers, Mavs. The West is woo!
tough. Yeah, the West
Who's
is
up
tough.
first? Green, you're up first. Clippers,
I'll
Mavs.
say this. Hey, I don't even believe what I'm saying either way, but I'm going with Luka, man.
Woo.
I'm going with Luka. I feel like Luka and Kyrie are really about to put on a show. I really believe that, and I really think the addition of them 2 bigs with Gafford, PJ Washington, and that young boy rookie out there balling the way he's balling is going to really make them formidable. If Tim Hardaway Jr. is making them shots, they're going to be a tough out. And I just think there's no answer for Luka and Kyrie. And I know what their health is like. I don't know where Kawhi's at.
Yeah.
But even if they were all healthy, I really like the Mavericks. I'm going Mavericks in 7.
Ooh, it's going 7?
I think it's going 7.
I don't know if
It's
the
gonna be-
I don't know if the Clippers can pull them all the way to 7.
I don't think
Go
so
ahead.
either. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I gotta. I don't want to go with this, but I feel like I have to. A huge part of me, to be honest with you, wants to see, and this may sound crazy, but a Clippers Boston final. Because to me, I just really want to see if Jason Tatum actually can grow up here.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Clippers are gonna be healthy enough, and I don't think they've had enough time together,
Yeah.
healthy, to get through what Dallas is gonna present. I think Dallas just brings a bunch of firepower. They're feeling great, playing great. They're looking really confident and comfortable together. I just don't see the Clippers getting even to a game 7. I think, I think they get them out of here in 5 or 6, probably 6. I would say 6. I'll feel strong about 6.
My feelings on it, couple things I want to just add, because I probably agree with pretty much everything you guys said. I want to add to the discussion, there are no excuses for the Clippers to me. I don't care if Kawhi's not there. I'm saying you have enough. You got James Harden and you got PG and you got Westbrook. Man, I am a non-excuser, man. And don't get me wrong, this is different than my call. My call is they can't win without Kawhi, right? My call is they are going to lose because Kawhi's not there. Kawhi was there, everything changes for me. I got the Clippers. But Kawhi's not there. I just read yesterday they were talking about the inflammation in his knee is still there bad, so he won't be playing game 1. I'm like, they're talking inflammation, and So, but I just wanted to add no excuses for them. No excuses for the Clippers. And my reason is you got enough. I mean, come on, man. You keep telling me that you're James Harden, he's been playing like ass, but you told me you were something. Show me. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. And Paul George is balling. So, he's balling right now. He's going to work. No excuses. You guys got enough role players and pieces. And so I give no excuses to them. But my call is Dallas because Kawhi's not there. So,
And how many?
6. Same as you. 6.
Okay.
Let's go. Timberwolves versus the Suns. Snow, you're up first.
Oh man. Oh man. I'm a huge. That young boy in Minnesota. Mhm. When I turn on my TV and I see him flying through the air looking like a fresh new MJ, man, listen. I'm going with the Timberwolves, dog. I'm going with the Timberwolves, dog. Here's why, though. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Edwards, but I just think Minnesota's too big.
They are big.
I think they present issues that I think the Suns are vulnerable. I don't think they're going to be able to manufacture enough points because Minnesota's going to be able to score easier, more often. Whether it be putbacks around the rim, then they got. I gotta go. I'm going Minnesota, man, and I'm going 6 or 7, but I'm definitely going Minnesota.
Green, you want to go or?
Yeah, I mean, I worry about the way Minnesota's played against Phoenix. I didn't like how Phoenix was out there trying to punk them guys out there. They feel comfortable to do that. I do think Anthony Edwards is great enough to overcome all that and just be like, yo, like when Shaq fouled out and Kobe was like, yo, I got this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Ant has that ability. I just need to see it. So, with that being said, I'm going with the Suns. I think they're going to be the more desperate team. Mike Conley had a great quote today. He was like, nobody on either team wants it more than me. And he was like, my team is real young, and I'm trying to tell these guys, hey, do it for me. Follow me. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think if they take on that mindset, they'll be fine. But I know Phoenix is going to be if they lose in the first round. And I
mean again?
Again. I think they're gonna play with their hair on fire coming out, and Edwards and Cat are gonna have to put them out. And I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. So for that, I got the Suns in 6 or 7. I think they're gonna have to close them out in 6 though in Phoenix. So that's why I want to say 6.
Good point. I'm with you. I got Phoenix for most of the reasons you said. I think that Devin Booker and KD are just going to be coming at those boys so much that it's the way they can put up points, and especially Devin Booker, man, the way he goes at you is just, he's something fierce and something different. With Ant Edwards, I believe it. I just haven't seen it yet, and I need to see it. I think this is the year. I think we all believe it. We know this is the time, but until it happens, like I'm looking for him to put up 47 one night, and just like I'm not looking for him to have 29. If he starts doing that, they're going home. Yeah. But if he comes out and he puts that cape on and he goes to work like what we all know he can do,
what we all know he can do.
Yeah. So I want the Timberwolves too. I just don't think they're going to. And I just think KD and them, and then like you said, Green, they just have their number and it's in their head. And when you start getting in that veteran thing and all of that starts coming together, and then teams, me and you talk about this a lot, Snow, where some teams just have that thing where something's weird in your year.
Mhm.
Something about Minnesota's year with the injuries, and then Cat was gone, and by the time he gets back, something's off with the chemistry right now. It's not quite what now you're trying to re-interject him in. He wants his same role, but maybe he should step back a little. All of that, trying to figure that out in the playoffs can be tough. So I go Suns in 6 or 7. But it's this is as close to a wash as the West is just a bunch of
The West
washes.
is, yeah. Come on.
I'm not confident in anything that I'm saying here in the West. I'm just saying it. But okay.
Thunder Pelicans.
Oh man, I mean, this should be consensus.
Thunder.
Yeah, I got the Thunder. I got them rather
4.
swiftly too.
Man, not
4 to
four.
5.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
If
might be a
Zion
bit
if
rich.
Zion doesn't play, it could be 4.
Oh, it won't be 4. But
Yeah.
we all got the Thunder, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Now the real series.
Now the real one.
God, these guys. You see you guys? And you don't think you're witnesses. Look at them.
Now,
Look at
I
these
just-
guys.
I just did that to
Look,
get to you.
No,
I knew it was gonna get under your
no.
skin. I knew
Your
I knew it
true
was gonna get
colors
under
are
your skin.
showing. Lakers, Denver. Either one of you can take it.
I'll go first. I got Denver. I think I'm gonna be like my guy Snow. I'm going Denver, but if Anthony Davis shows me in game 1 where he's going at Jokic like I have yet to see him do, it's gonna get mighty interesting. But I don't know if D'Angelo is gonna be hitting shots like he be hitting shots. We might gonna be leaving Michael Porter open all damn series long. Like, what's going on with these rotations? And we have no answer for that white boy. And so I got them, but I think it's gonna be a good series though. I don't think it's gonna be like last year was a good series. Jokic was just hitting incredible shots that just made it get over quick. But every game was a nail biter. But I think we pull some out. But I think ultimately we fall short. And I got the Nuggets and probably I'll say it goes 7.
So here's where I'm at. What I'm not gonna do is cower away. And I'm really hurt right now. Listening to my guy Randy do what he just did. I'm really hurt.
My apologies, brother. I
But,
had to go with my head out my heart, man.
hey, I'm going with my heart. I got Lakers in 7, dog.
Let's go then.
Lakers in 7.
Say it with your chest, okay?
My guy's right, man. Oh, I hope he's right. Get him out of here.
I love y'all, man. I'm just talking about on some straight sports family rather than talking this. I love this, man. This is what I live for. I got Denver in 6 or 7. Same thing. I think it's going to be a good series. One thing that I've said for a while is I think Stephen A. talked about it. These teams are actually evenly matched to me. When you look at the rosters, they're very evenly matched. What people say, well, Denver's just better. No, their chemistry is better. They're playing better, but the rosters are evenly matched. And I think there are some things the Lakers have done. I think Anthony Davis is the key. Like you said, Randy, and I think he's going to show up. I think he's going to come and play. He has no choice. He's going to play hard. Like all of this stuff is in his head. And he wants to come. Now, what you have to worry about is the Lakers are front runners. And if Denver punches them in the mouth, then you'll see the Lakers give up and quit. The Lakers are when we're up, we're up. When we're down, right? They're not usually fighting through the adversity of it like you would like to see them do. So, yeah, I think Jokic is a lot. The key on Denver's end to me, I mean, Jamal Murray's going to do his thing. Jokic is going to do his thing. The key to me is Michael Porter. Michael Porter's playing better basketball than he was last year. Michael Porter puts the ball on the floor a little bit more. Michael Porter's confidence now is at a space where I'm like, you look better. And they're going to need that because they lost Bruce Brown, right? And so Michael Porter, to me, is going to be the key. And it's not the key like he's going to put up 30. Nah, it's the key like where he put up 16 last year, he's going to put up 22. You know what I mean? He's going to have a couple of big games in the series. And so I got Denver in 6, but it's going to be a hell of a fight. It's going to be a good series.
I don't want to get too far off. But the Porter family's got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Dang. And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Snow. He's a comedian. But in all seriousness, you know, it's real.
Sheesh. We're not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. We're not touching that at all. But with that, man, we want to thank you, Snow, for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Showing us some love, joining us on our inaugural. We will bring you back throughout the playoffs, man.
Most definitely.
No doubt.
We'll bring you back throughout the playoffs, man. And we'll let you talk your ish.
I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. This was live. I'm definitely down to do this whenever y'all ready to have me back. So let's get it.
Pull up.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. All right. And before we get to close out here, we are going to just briefly tell you guys about our next episode. We'll just follow Green or myself to be able to tap in with the episode. But next week, be on the lookout. We are doing a all football pre-draft. Get you ready for. We're talking Seahawks. We're talking quarterbacks. We're talking wide receivers. We are talking draft, baby.
Let's go. Yes.
Tune in, man. I could not be more excited for that, man. Football, talking draft. You got anything you want to say? Shout outs? Anything you want to do before we go?
Just want to thank everybody who tuned in. You know what I'm saying? The support is everything. Comment if you think I'm crazy. If you agree with me and you know Doomy's crazy, comment. Let us know what you agree with, what you disagree with, next things we should be talking about, all that. And before I forget, major shout out to our guy, Kurt, man. Good looking.
Smogo TV, behind the board, showing us love. That's what we're powered by. Also by the association, The Chosen Few. We are here showing y'all love, man. Thank you guys for the support. Like he said, comment, follow us, and get ready. Next week, man, we coming in hot.
Yes,
go
sir.
Hawks, go Commanders.
Yes,
it's about to be a cold draft. Peace and love, y'all. We out.